I hope you guys enjoyed those amazing videos. We're just going to do a short panel discussion, a few questions for Patricia, and open up the floor. And then the guys from Rum and Coke are going to play throughout the night. We'll have a couple of drinks and celebrate. So I just wanted to ask Patricia, what is the primary focus of this year's or this version of Ojos Caribe?
So my focus, as I said in the beginning, the introduction of the event, is like to how through the documentation of the knowledge and the culture and the lands of the Caribbean, we can like some sort of like feed ourselves and learn tools of like how to connect with our human side. And then what I thought the most about this, it was like the transition of like revolution, history, then anger, then explosion, then kind of like the delusional moment when you're just making fun of the shit that is happening around you, and then like end with a note of cleansing. So that's kind of like the type, like the pacing that I thought through when I put together this screening tonight. In the end, it's just like we are in a crisis right now. You know, like we are all like witnessing a lot of like things that we wish it would be different. And then I believe the region of the Caribbean and insularity can provide the space and the tools for us to connect within ourselves in a community way, healing, cleansing, and at the same time, it's just like, I don't know, like find connection to land too. I think like if we would have a different understanding of how we connect with earth, soil, land, and where we belong to, our understanding of like our global understanding will be extremely different today. And I am just here just showing you a little piece of like how visionaries, artists, creators are like really looking deep into like these tools and these ways to connect with our humanity in the Caribbean. But it can be found all over, not only. But this is just like a corner of the world. And Caribbean is not only like, how do you call it, like all-inclusive resorts. Yeah. It's not only that. So I hope you got to grasp a little bit of it tonight.
Yeah, I really, now that you mentioned the way that you curated the selection of the videos, and the feelings that they evoke, it's kind of like the stages of grief in a sense. Mm-hmm. When you go through these stages of sadness, anger, resignation, making fun, and then at the end you come to peace with it. Mm-hmm. That's super interesting. And at the same time, it's kind of like what we're exploring here in Hormiga Caribe. It's not just resorts. It's not just that. It's very layered. It reminds me of what we're showing as well. Your series of photographs, Paradise is Burning. It's just so layered que there's so much to say, and there has to be a starting point to do it. Yeah. I think these platforms are extremely important. And
yeah, I mean, it's been centuries of censorship, of silencing, of like not allowing groups, communities, countries, millions of people not being able to speak out. Mm-hmm. And to me, yes, art is beautiful, create is beautiful, but what I advocate in the end is just like witnessing that there are so many ways to connect within ourselves. Yeah. And the Caribbean, because of our history and colonial legacies, have found really beautiful ways to survive, to become resilient, and that's the beauty of it. And also, like at the end of the day, like with one of the pieces, for instance, when I went few pieces here critique the tourism industry, like it's like they're extracting, they're robbing the land. We as a community, as Caribbean, as a Via Yala, and as a Global South community, we need to stop perpetuating these dynamics too. Like that last piece, that the reason why I wanted to end with it is like a town that is close to a Barry Gold mining space. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Barry Gold, for instance. So there's like this Canadian, like extremely extractivist industry that goes to like poor countries, extract gold, and destroy everything around it. And that person that is from that town that is like, is there, like there's been debates for the last, I don't know, like I would say like almost decade or 10 years, that for that town not to become part of the mining process from the Barry Gold people.
I also wanted to ask you, what specific regions facing oppression are highlighted as part of this edition's focus? I think you touched on it a bit, but if you can expand.
Yeah, so, okay, this particular edition, it goes from West Africa to Haiti, to St. Martin, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. Like we saw a whole like global view being documented by the eyes of Caribbean people. And it's the thing that I want to say, like almost none of the videos that we saw were shot like in the homeland of the artist, meaning that it was through a like showing that there is an intention to the region to really connect and document and understand like our similarities. Like yes, we have these similarities, but we're still a pluricultural space that is like really willing to collaborate and resist and be here and create in the end. So those are like, I don't necessarily would say that there is like a specific focus outside of the region itself, which I believe that the Caribbean goes beyond like the Caribbean Sea. Like the Caribbean goes beyond and has like an immense diaspora. I mean, hello, we are that here tonight. So, but in the end, like I feel like the main focus is like to see like programs, desire and willingness to like interchange and create across the region.
Yeah, that's exactly the where I took off the theme of Hormiga Caribe. That it's not just the Caribbean; it's anywhere we are or anywhere where people from that region are descendants of. Come on, we have people here that are descendants of people from Cuba or people from Puerto Rico, but they still have like that little spark and that sense of community to interact with each other y como impulsarse entre ellos. Which I always found beautiful. Como I was trying to figure out how can I do a show about the Caribbean. Como que it's just celebrating us wherever we are and picking La Hormiga Caribe because everybody. Sometimes we're viewed as invasive, Latinos and Caribbean.
Yeah, immigrants.
So I said like, what animal could be a good metaphorical guide for this? It's Hormiga Caribe. Oh, it's a little ant. Yeah, but have you ever been bitten by a fire ant? It's not only one. All of them are gonna bite you, and it's gonna be something incredibly. So you might think, they're just ants. Yeah, but you don't want to mess with them. And in the creative community, wherever we are, we will find a way to connect with each other and excel. Yeah. And I wanted also to which parallels with the Ojos Caribe platform is that there's more to the Caribbean than is being presented in the world. Like sometimes you just hear about business opportunities in the DR and all this stuff, and it's all very entrepreneurial. But there's just such an artistic aspect of there that has to be celebrated. That's more than that, and we don't want to. Personally, I don't want to be the region that I'm from. Be viewed as such an entrepreneurial place to exploit, and so I wanted to be able to platform or people that are doing stuff in the creative field, and try to erase that. Like it's not a place to exploit; it's a place to enjoy and to learn from,
and to preserve.
Yeah. Exactly. It's not just resorts. It's not just restaurants. It's not just vacation, and it's not just people that clean your houses. There's more, and you have to find a way to celebrate this.
Yes. But I also want to add to that is that us claiming that, we also like subscribe ourselves to other resistance, to other fights, to other struggles. I also Caribbean, like finding that identity and like claiming it and like putting like a stamp on like, no, we are not only this, we're more than this. Also like allowed us to connect with other struggles, like from the indigenous people like, hello, like we still have like indigenous people, like just like in South America, like just like finding ways to resist Black American people here, like in the other side of the world even, and like us like claiming this type of like positionality, we can like also become part of like that bigger voice, no? Like how us together, like how us like as Caribbeans saying like, yes, we resist, we're resilient, can also allow and help for the freedom of like places like Palestine, Congo, and Haiti today. And that's like the beauty of it in the end. It's like unites, no? It's like becoming stronger together.
Yeah.
As we've recognized and find ourselves after, you know, a crazy colonial legacy that is being left to us. So, yeah.
My final question is, what key themes do the showcase works of art embody, do you think?
Second?
What key themes?
Themes?
I think we touched on it.
Yeah, we touched on that a little bit. So like the key themes, for me, like this, I mean, I have been struggling myself a lot with what has been happening globally. When I was invited to do this edition here with you guys, I was like, wow, like how I need tools myself. I need to really like go through this everyday situation that is happening like around the globe. And at the same time, I also struggle with the idea of participating in Miami Art Week while this entire shit is happening. And I was like, okay, I mean, this has been being put together since like summer, you know? So it's like the whole thing happened in October and everything. And I'm like, I cannot, like, there are commitment, there has been investment, there has been things that have been put together. So how can we come into Miami Art Week and just like bring like a piece of the conversation, of the bigger thing? And when I thought about this edition, it was like, I'm gonna bring in the tools that I've been trying to look within for myself to the people that come and join me. Like, I know that Miami Art Week is crazy, there's many people doing a million things, but I was like, no, I'm gonna bring this conversation here. Like, it is important. And like, I mean, I'm gonna say this, but I just went to Art Basel. They have like this entire wall of like, free this, political whatever, anti-dictatorship. Where is the word Palestine in that wall? Where is it? Nowhere to see. Nowhere to see. And it's like, what are we doing? Like, what is the art world really fucking doing in the end of the day? And what I'm doing here is like, you know, bringing like a piece of that change that I want to see for myself and for my community. And that's what I'm bringing here for you guys. So, yeah. Cheers. A lo muerto.